Hi everyone. So something unprecedented has finally happened. After doing this channel now for nearly going on 4 years now, and after the phrase I've always put at the end of my videos, if you have something you'd like us to review, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I had my first ever request for a review about 2 days ago or a few days ago from John Doe, who asked me to do a review of the great 1994 classic Double Dragon, based off the smash hit arcade game. And I think I'd only seen it once beforehand, and it'd been years, and I have seen the Nostalgia Critics review of it, but I wasn't going to do it, obviously, review that, because that's not the full movie. Luckily, we live in a wondrous digital age, because you can find the entire movie on YouTube free of charge. So, yeah. So, to address, I'm just looking at the things he wanted me to address. I had to make sure. Okay, yeah. Just, alright. So, after watching the movie again on YouTube, I was just sitting there, like, eating like, my raspberry dash. I'm like, wow, this is bad, but kind of awesome at the same time. Yeah, he described it as, like, it's a great bit of 90s cheese. You want to talk about bad video game movies? Here's a perfect example for you. But, as far as bad video game movies go, this is a fairly entertaining bad video game movie. It's terrible, but in a great way. I mean, what was there to like and hate? There's a lot of both. I mean, the story doesn't really, I think, fit the tone of the game at all, which admittedly, I don't think I ever played Double Dragon more than like once or twice when I walked into like arcades or something like that. And even then, 94, I was only like 6 years old at the time. So I think I was about 5. Yeah, so it's not like I didn't play a lot of arcades when I was going to a lot of arcades when I was 5, just because I was busy with other things, like I stepped in a puddle, whatever. It's not. You don't usually advance, and most kids usually start playing the arcade games a little bit later. Like once you hit like your 8 to 10 or whatever years old, that's when you usually kind of get into the arcade route. I just never played Double Dragon. But the story follows, and I actually have the IMDb page up here, follows Jimmy Lee and Billy Lee, played by Scott Wolf and Mark Dacascos? Yeah, which one I'm trying to remember who played who. One second, it was Mark? Yep, Mark, and wow, he's still looking pretty good for, how old is he? Born 64? Honolulu? Holy crap, Honolulu, Hawaii? That explains it. Because obviously Double Dragon's based off kind of like the Philippine Asian culture and whatnot, except Jimmy, the older brother, passed for I actually thought he was Asian, but no, apparently he's Hawaiian. 64, that means he is give me 1 second here, 50. Wow, he's 60-something years old, and wow, good for him, he's aged well. And then Scott Wolf, who played Billy Lee, his younger brother. I believe I've seen him in other things before. And he's about as a little younger by like a couple years. He's still in his 50s. Now these guys are supposed to be playing. I don't know if they're supposed to be Asian. But the only one I can kind of buy being Asian, because I thought he was at first, was the older brother. The other one is very white. Like, you can easily tell he's like just a tan white guy. Yeah, it kind of stands out. Also, when you break it down, the older brother, for the most part, is pretty sound and level-headed. Then hence he's the older brother kind of, taking care of his little brother when he can. The little brother is just, I didn't realize how fucking annoying this guy was. Not the actor, the character. Like in the beginning where they're in the martial arts tournament, the fighting tournament, martial arts it is. And, his brother his younger brother pulls him out because he wants to fight. And he ends up, just screwing it up and losing the prize money. He's like, wow, don't you try to have some fun? It's like, you screwed it up. Oh, lighten up. Just trying to have some fun. And I'm watching this like, you are an idiot. You just cost them the tournament and money that you clearly needed. And then he just decides to attack the guys who won fairly just because they didn't do stupid crap. So the younger brother's a dumbass loose cannon. And he continually keeps doing dumbass loose cannon things. The only smart thing he does is actually go to ask Alyssa Milano for help, which the older brother's just like, nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Because you got a crush on her, just like, enjoy. They're just flat out saying where Melissa Milano's like sneaking in, helping them sneak into, what's Robert Patrick's character's name? Koga Shuko's headquarters, and she's bent over and basically get a good shot of her ass. I'm like, and then you just see him staring at it. It's like, and then they fight over. It's like, who's gonna be behind her? Get to stare her ass. And to answer the other question they want you, John Doe and his friend wanted me to know, respond to, yeah, even now, Melissa Milano is just freaking hot, but Melissa Milano was freaking hot in that movie. And I checked her age beforehand so I could say it's not creepy because she was 22 in that movie. So it's not creepy for me to say that. No, she was damn good looking. She was rocking that short blonde hair, and she's Melissa Milano. She's great. She's a beautiful woman. But yeah, she runs the power pack, and she's got to sneak out against her father, who's the chief of police. And I'm like, it's like, no, they're terrorists. Like, and what are you? It's like, no, you had to, and she's fighting the gangs while he's making deals with them. Obviously, he has his little arc. So, no, at least the days are safe. Think about that. You weren't here before the violence. Think about that. The days are safe. It's like, well, the power pack aren't going to stand by fight. You're supposed to do your job. And the power pack are terrorists. And I'm like, what does that make you, a freaking politician? That's what he makes you. You made back alley deals, and you settle for half violence, and then whatever, and then the police go out, and it's like, it's stupid. It is really stupid. And then of course you get and I'm watching this movie, and I'm like, okay, wait, I'm seeing gray in her hair for no reason. The woman who is basically the girl who was taking care of them, Julianne Nixon, who plays Satori Mada, as Julianne Nixon's soul. What? Julianne Nixon plays Satori Imada as Julianne Nixon's soul. And then Christina Wagner plays Linda Lash as Christina Valandro. What is with this as thing? I'm not understanding this at all. But anyway, she plays them, and she's supposedly like an old friend of the father's, and I'm guessing she's supposed to be older than what she apparently looks like, but she still just looks like 94. Hold on, when was she born? She still looked like a 1958 was when she was. Wow. So 32. That'd be 90. She was 36 when this movie was made. Yeah, she still looks like a 36-year-old with streaks of gray in her hair. I'm watching this like, no, it's just no. And then you got Bo Abobo, not Bobo, but Bo Abobo. And there's two different guys playing him because there's two different versions. You get the standard Bo Abobo, who is leader of the Mohawk Gang, and then Robert Patrick's is like, no, you have just like, well, maybe she should have put out a bulletin, and it looked like a piece of junk. She should have told me that. And then he's gonna say, nope, I'm gonna punish you. He's like, you're like a son to me, but like a son, I can have another. I'm gonna give you a giant thing of steroids. But I watched that scene, and again, I'm like, no. He's acting, despite being just a muscle-bound meathead, he's actually completely right. Because nobody told him about the double dragon really at all. It was probably in passing, but because they didn't know where it was at all in the city, or if it was even in the city, he didn't know anything about it, so there's no reason for them to tell him. Except now that they were looking for it, they maybe should have just said, hey, keep your eye out for this thing if you ever see it. So, yeah, the Christina Wagner dominatrix girl who is completely useless and has some of the worst line delivery in this entire movie. Yeah, now while rewatching this movie, this chick does nothing. Absolutely, she has like a very terrible fight scene with Alyssa Milano's dad, and she like takes the head off a Nagatada, I think it's called. Basically a spear blade, long spear. Uh, and she takes off with her whip, and then the guy throws, and she whips away the remaining pole, but then the guy throws a table on her. She gets out, and then she, is taking out people with a whip, and she's about to whip Melissa Milano, but then someone, she just turns around like, ha 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 ha, huh? Oh, that happened, and then they cut her whip, and then beat the crap out of her and tie her up, and she gets knocked out, and I'm watching this like, useless. You, sir, of all of the uselessness in this movie, you are probably the most useless. Oh man, and then of course you get super steroid fat bastard teenage mutant ninja turtle secret of the ooze, a Bobo, who I'm like I would fight this guy no problem. This guy can't move at all. He's just raw. You can even see him just struggling to move because he's so jacked up on the steroids and he's all muddling. Trip. Poof. Well, this was fun. And then, of course, he turns out to be a good guy. He's like, I don't want to fight anymore. Can I drive, please? I do have to also marvel at the future they've made of New Angeles. A future where in a truck that when you get newspaper flown in on just one window, you can perfectly see out the other, or just stick your head out the window, or, as the critic put it, reach out and take it, the piece of paper off. No, you got a high-tech camera with a video game kind of system to track it and watch where you are. And the mapping system the mapping system I could actually get behind, but the rest of it I'm like, this is not stupid. I do actually like the concept of the brothers' car, where it's a futurist car. I mean, obviously it's pretty much the Batmobile, where you just put things in to burn it, and that's the fuel. And to get away, they basically burnt like a can of combustible stuff, and it basically just, is it, you see a little red button? Yeah, push the little red button. Okay, and you might want to put on a seatbelt. It's pretty much the button for Men in Black. I'm like, that's actually kind of cool. So there's a few decent things in here. The effects work for 1994. Now, granted, the movie, I looked it up too, the budget. It was made on $7.8 million. It shows. It really does show. I guess Robert Patrick turning into the weird ghost thing. I completely forgot about the morgue where he was possessing pretty much dead comatose bodies. And you just see this giant football player guy get up and basketball player, and just like, oh, okay, this is a thing. So and then he just possesses his brother to to get the other half of the medallion. Yeah, the ghost effects were kind of bad. And then, the splitting into the evil guys. I'm like, what is this? I'm not understanding what I'm seeing right now. And then I was like, oh, and then, that because I think it's a PG movie. Was it a PG? I got the IMDb up. I can check. PG. Yep. Oh no, it was a PG-13. They could have got away with shit. They said, I think they even said, oh, shit, twice. I think it just cut out with shit. They first said, oh, shit, you said it. And then, of course, it said, oh, shit, you said it. And then, they kick his ass. I will say, though, Robert Patrick is just hamming it up, and I'm loving every moment of it. He is a joy to watch on screen. He really is. Oh, man, it's I just want to control one major American city. Is that so wrong? I said, no one has called me that in many a year. I said, oh, this place it's a fire hazard. Give me the medallion, or face the consequences. Your choice. Just turns into the ghost and flies out. He's just eating up this. He's like, come on, I'll buy you a new one. I'll buy you a new theater. Come on. It was pretty. I enjoyed it, and for what it's worth, by the way, the fight choreography not all the scenes. Some of them are just like standard bad movie fight choreography, but not all of it was bad. In fact, a couple of them were like this fighting in the fight in the theater. Yeah, where and you get that guy who's played so many henchmen in his life that I can't remember his name, but you right. Let me actually see if I can find him. Smart as one chief. There he is. A. Leon Lewis. He's in so many movies. He's in Die Hard. He's in a lot of things. So you get him having a fight with the older brother, and he's got a bowling pin, and then you get the broom, and then he takes their spear, and then they go into actually what was a pretty well choreographed and pretty good stick fight scene. I have to admit. Now that being said, I mean the rest of the fights just kind of ranges from so to bad. Him, Melissa Milano's just got some very obvious stunt fighting going on where you can tell she's not making contact, but it's like boom, yeah, boom, yeah. So okay. Overall, I mean, how would I rate this movie in today's day and age? Well, in the day and age where we're actually trying to recapture some nostalgia, I love that for the nostalgia purposes. It was terrible, but in a great way. It's kind of like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Terrible, but not the bad type of terrible. Just kind of terribly fun to watch. So for what it's worth, not a bad time for me. Not like a bad movie for me to sit through, especially on my laptop. Didn't have to pay anything for it. That's great. Maybe give it if it were back then, it still would probably be it would be a pretty low rating. It's getting about a 3.5 for me. There's just so much cheese and stuff like that it's just an enjoyably bad movie. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put it in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. I'll always give you those people who give me requests for anything I do shout outs. Because I like to make you guys part of the channel, at least in some small way. And yeah, if you have ideas, by the way, for any of the videos I do, Star Wars, superheroes, magics, what ifs, who would wins, please put those in the comments below. Let me know. I'll do reviews of them or videos of them at some point. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you folks next time.